Alright, so tonight we are making this the last session until, until you guys create some stuff and we get together and go over some things, anything we need to go over. This week we're going to go over Trader, Zed spawns, and pathing. And that's it. That's the last stuff you really need to get a level playable. What is this? Oh. Apparently I had one in here already. I'm just going to get rid of it, though. Yeah, but it's outside the level. Alright, just going to delete it. Okay, so. And since it's another night, I'm going to start another file. Just to be extra cautious. So I'm not going to go crazy trying to make this like the perfect level. So when you're making a spawn volume, just get your builder block like that. Doesn't have to be the grid. You don't have to be perfect with your placement. I'm just going to throw one behind the house. The only thing you have to make sure is it is not in any level geometry, and it's not too far off the ground. It doesn't have to be perfectly on the ground, but as long as it's not in the ground or too far up from the ground, because then it'll detect that it's not safe for them to spawn and it won't work. So got your builder block in place. Then just go ahead, come over to volumes, right click, and zombie volume. Right there. And now you see I have a spawn volume. Yeah, so when you right click that button there, it gives you different volume types. Blocking volume blocks everything. So players and Zeds. And then there's these other volumes. Most of them you don't use in Killing Floor. Shop volume is the trader volume. Zombie volume is, we already went over that. Where is... Zombie Zone. This is the other one here. And this essentially makes it so you can't walk into that area. Yeah. So if you want like a hallway that's just for Zed spawns, you would block the hallway off with a zombie zone. Merciless makes use of them. I don't know if you've noticed, like, you can't go outside of those gates where the Zeds spawn. Yeah. And those are pretty much the only volumes you're going to be using, unless you get into story or objective maps, which I haven't really gotten into making those yet, so I can't give any instruction on that. One of them, I think it was physics volume, is how you can make it so like you die from hitting it or something, or make it hurt. Like if you could have like lava stuff, but anyways, so there's when you create your zombie zone, if you go to properties, you have some options in regards to it. You can choose leaping Zeds or crawlers. So if you wanted to make like a vent one, so you would turn off massive Zeds and normal Zeds if you wanted to make it, just a vent one. Only allowed Zeds, you would use this for like if you want only specific Zeds to spawn in a specific spot. Like on a Little Big Christmas Room. Actually, you know what? Alright, zombies volumes, they don't have to be, they can be far up from the floor. I forgot about that. Because on Little Big Christmas Room, the one in the chimney is up at the top of the chimney and there's nothing underneath of it, so they just spawn and fall. That's fine. You can also put disabled wave numbers. I've never used that though. But anyways, you can use only allowed Zeds for like saying like you only want a patriarch to spawn in this volume. Yeah. So like I'm sure you noticed on Little Big Xmas Room, he only spawns in the chimney. That's why. So Santa coming down the chimney. That was my thinking behind it. Anyways, minimum distance to player. If you're too close to it, if you're within this range, they're not going to spawn there. You mainly use that if it's like an outdoor map. If it's a vent, you would want to disable that. Or wait, minimum is minimum distance to player. I don't remember. I always assumed that it doesn't spawn there, or if you're too close. You can play around with that on your own. I'm not going to waste my time with that right now. Allow plain sight spawns. Self-explanatory. If a player has a direct line of sight, then it's not going to spawn them if this is false. Like Merciless makes use of this being true, which I'm going to set it to true right now because I'm not going to build anything fancy right now for this. Do not touch this. The zombie count multiplier, it is glitchy as shit. Don't waste your time with it. I was using that on Red River Bar a couple years ago, and I had an issue where, it was like the middle of wave 4, they just stopped spawning completely. This is why. Always leave this alone. Never touch that. You can do spawn desired ability. The higher the number, the more likely they are to spawn in that spot. Just be careful using that because you might end up making it so that they're only spawning in, if you have the desirability too high up, then it can cause issues. This here is probably what I did on Little Big Xmas Room, now that I'm seeing that. So I probably just set that to true. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for zombie volumes. Now, I'm not going to build out a full-fledged trader. I'm just going to put a volume down for this. Basically, how a trader works is, if you remember on the doors, there's a tag and events kind of thing. Traders make use of all of that stuff. So, you have your event, and then that's tied to the door, which has the tag. Same thing with trader doors and trader volumes, and you have to make sure they match. There's also a specific trader teleporter. Let me just switch to a map and show you real quick. I guess we'll do. Oh, that's just a. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Hide button. There we go. That's for the. That's my streaming software. Which is what I'm assuming requested access to my MacBook a while ago. So here's your. These are your trader teleporters. Tag, barn trader door. Wait. This one here. Alright. Trying to find don't mind me, I'm just trying to find the trader volume here because there's a lot of shit here. Alright, I'm just going to Merciless. That's going to be the easiest. Okay. I just want to show you in another map, that way I don't have to go through the whole process of creating a fucking trader. Alright, so here's my trader volume here. So I'm just going to hit, I got the properties up for it. So this trader is called, let me just make Oh, here's in the shop volume. You see, there's a URL. I don't know why I named it that. I was in high school, so I wasn't as mature. And then if you go to here, you see the tag. The tag is that. Yeah. So for the teleporter specifically, you go to shop volume and then URL. That's kind of like the hyperlink to these guys, and then you set their tags to match that. And that's it for the teleporter. A good standard is probably to have 12 teleporters at this point. This is a bit out of date. If there's not enough teleporters, you'll telefrag if there's too many people. So if, you had 12 people standing in the trader, they all went out at the same time, it's very likely 6 of them are going to get telefragged. And then for the door, it matches the tag of this. Yeah. Tag is always shop volume. Event will be the name of the trader volume. So it's a little more complicated than just the door, but just because you have event here, tag on the door, and then URLs for this. But the URLs are defined through this. I'm going to upload this video later, so if you get lost when you're doing your first trader, just refer back to the video or feel free to ask me. But for now, I'm just gonna make a trader volume. I'm not gonna build out a whole trader. It would just take too much time. So shop volume, boom, that's it. Also, when you're making your trader volume, make sure you have it either lined up with your walls. So like if I wanted it in the house, make sure I lined it up with the yellow here, the inside wall. Otherwise, if you have it going outside, then you can access it from standing outside the house. And the other issue, I'm not sure if you remember on Brewpub, there's a part of the deck where you walk into and it'll teleport you to the trader teleporter randomly because that trader volume is above the deck that's above it. So always make sure you have it contained where you want it to be. Don't let it flow out anywhere. And the last thing in regards to this, make sure you do not have 2 of them on top of each other. This has been an issue on some maps recently. The last update Tripwire made it so even if the volumes are named the same thing, they're still treated as separately. So just keep that in mind. If you accidentally duplicate it, you're going to have people not being able to access that trader, even though it is the trader for the round. They're going to walk inside and get teleported right back out. Yeah. Yeah. So you can't, if you're trying to do something really creative that requires more than 1 volume, you can't do it. So just keep that in mind. And that's it for that. Now, last thing before this is playable is we have to do the pathing. So, what you want to do, place your first path node by right-clicking and then add path node, like that, right there. And then you'll see a little apple here. This you have to make sure is not too high off the ground, because it'll throw an error if you do. All right, so you don't want too many of these. The more you add of this, the more messy things get. So keep that in mind. It's part of the reason why Boardwalk is such a mess right now, is just because it is just littered with these fucking things. So once you have it placed, so instead of right-clicking for each one, you can just hit Control-W and it duplicates, and you can go ahead and move it. Now, you want to make sure you get them a good distance, so you want to give yourself a good frame of reference at first. So first thing you're going to do is you place your 2 nodes, build path. Oh, that's why. If you leave any of the textures, this default soap texture, it's gonna throw an error. But it's not. It'll let you play it. It'll just give you an error, which is a little annoying. All right, so I built paths. Now I can do a little trick to view them. If you right click on this here, go to. Actually, wait. Hold up. Trying to remember where it was. Yeah, hang on. Trying to remember how I got to it. Oh, here. I was in the right place. Oh, you can. I forgot you can do that too. You can view the backdrop from the editor. I forgot to show you guys that previously. So show paths, and now you can see the path between them. So there's the path here. It's this line here, and then there's another line here that goes like that. Now we want to get these as far apart as possible without breaking the path, because that's best optimization. So build paths again. Still working. Good. Yeah. I think we're good. You always have to have a path node in your zombie volume. Always. So keep that in mind. So go ahead and throw on over here. And this is such a small area that I just don't need many path nodes at all. Now we'll just do another check, make sure things are looking good here. Yep. You see the pathing is coming along well. Now I'm going to get a little creative and I'm going to select multiple at the same time. There we go. Yeah, another easy thing that you can actually, this is where a top view can actually be kind of helpful. So I'll just do that. Gonna need to put some close to the house. Which means I should probably put one at the corner over here. That one here. Okay. Yeah, it's very time consuming. This is the worst part of making a map. It's like you finish the map and then you are treated to this repetitive bullshit. When I was working on Boardwalk, it took me probably around 10 hours to path it. But that was a really big map and I did not do it properly, so just keep that in mind. If you know, like the Pocono map, that only took me about 45 minutes to path, so that wasn't nearly as bad. Now I'm also trying to keep some paths lined up, like through the, like I have a path here that's lined up with the doorway. You might notice these two seem a little close, because I'm going to put a path node here. I want to make sure it will go through that doorway. These are probably a little too far apart there. I think I only need, I think that should be good for the outside. Let me build paths first, make sure. There we go. Yeah, you can see it's getting a little messy around here, but I'm just doing this quickly and sloppily. I'm trying to do it kind of clean, but yeah. Also, the player start will count as a path node. I'm just going to put. Okay. Now we see here there is a path that they wouldn't seem to want to take properly. So I'm going to put I'm gonna put another node here. Because these lines will actually help you see where they're not going to go. So if you see like a gap like that, then they're clearly not going to go there. Put one in front of the stairs too. They don't like that. Why is that? Let me get rid of my little dude. He might be in the way. Huh. It's weird. Oh. It might be the chair might be in the way. Oops. Let's see. Do you want to work now? Oh, shit. Now I blocked the other way. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It's weird. Alright, let me just put another one between the two. There we go. Okay. That worked. Guess I will move this up here. That way these angles are covered. And I'll put another one going around this corner. And there we go. They should be able to cover the whole floor. Although if you stand in this corner, if they go to the middle of the room, well, I mean, I guess they would just go like that. Then it's not a big deal. All right. Now we got to do the stairs. So we have to use the 3D view for this. You have to make sure, make sure they're not in level geometry or too far off the ground. So you just kind of eyeball, and that's pretty good right there. Should be. It'll throw an error if it isn't. Shit, where'd it go? Yeah, I'm gonna have to just do it right at the top there. Yeah, forgive me, it's been a little while since I've done this, so. Oh wait, I just got a geometry. Hang on. Navigation point embedded in level geometry. Oh bullshit, no it ain't. Oh, there we go. Okay, I just needed to build geometry. No biggie. Okay. Just throw one there. Those are a little high off the ground, so I'm just gonna adjust this one here. I'm gonna see if I could just do one in each corner of the room and then one in the middle. Let's see what happens. Okay. Cool. All right, upstairs is done. Now we just got to do the basement, and that's it. And this map will actually be playable. With the beautiful soapy walls. Or what was it Remy said it was last time. It was like some kind of fish eggs or something. Actually, I could probably do that. Yep. Very good. Wait, I didn't. Yeah, okay, those are working. I didn't check the other stairs before. All right. Oh, there's a little gap there. All right. So now, right before we make it playable in the editor, you want to go to level properties. This is where you would put in your level information, like your author name, you know, Rusky, name of the level, shitty merciless demo. The one thing you really want to make sure of for the editor, you want to, hang on, where is it? Where was it? Trying to remember where it was. There was somewhere you define the difficulty level. Yo, you joined a bit late. Uh,
Hello?
can you hear me now? You missed a bit, but I recorded, so you'll be able to go back. We're just about to do the play test, if I can remember where the fucking difficulty level thing was at. Ah, advanced options. Okay. Game difficulty. Hang on. I gotta Google it.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
And it's like barely. Good.
Just turn your volume up. Uh, no, I just want to make sure. Okay, yeah. Make sure your difficulty in advanced options and game settings is set to 1. And that'll set it to beginner difficulty. The reason why you want to make sure that is set, when you're using the editor, your perks are not, you have level 0 perks. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass. And you want to just be able to, goof off pretty much. You don't want to have to like try to survive the wave. You want to actually get through, make sure your trader volumes work and all. So before before you go to play it, build geometry, build lighting, build paths, deal with any errors that come up. If it's an exclamation point, it's not like end of the world, but if you have like a red X, you need to deal with it most likely. Save it, and then hit that little joystick icon to play. You see, you don't, actually, I don't even have perks available at all for some reason. So,
There they are.
yep, just popping into view.
Nice. My heat's full already.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm lagging right now, so. Okay, yep, and here's my trader volume that I placed over in this corner. And yeah, that's it. And you're not going to be able to afford anything really because you don't have any perks. So enjoy. But that's that. And the map is playable. It is not a great map, but it's playable. So if I wanted, I could go ahead and slap this on the server now, and that's the end of it. Anyone got any questions? Anything that I did not go over that you want me to go over real quick?
I assume that noting was done. That was fun.
Yeah, we went over path nodes, trader, how to create a trader. That's a good question. I would assume the distance of a path node, like you see this distance here, I would assume maybe that. I've seen some maps where there's barely any path nodes. Bruh. So this is farm. That's the pathing on. I forget. No, they all can take those paths. Alright, so considering you could camp here, they're still going to get to you. So I probably went a bit overkill on the Merciless House there. Or maybe not. Maybe not. This is what Tripwire did. I think it depends on the Zed. But yeah, this is farms. Let me show you what not to do. Wait, no, wrong one. It's a terrible map. It is a terrible map. This is what you do not do. If I clicked this button, it would take 3 hours, probably, would be my estimate. Because of all the paths that it has to build. The more nodes there are, the longer it takes. And also, the more likely the Zeds are just to get fucking stupid. So, yeah, that is what you do not do. Yeah, they can. Yeah, so if you have, let me try to demonstrate. Okay. Let me make it easier so I can swipe back and forth. So, yeah, that map never got put on the server for very obvious reasons. So if I blocked off a path with this chair, like that. Oh, it actually like automatically raised it. Weird. But just be mindful of moving things around after the fact because things that obstruct the path can actually cause them to cause the path to break. There we go. Okay. See, I broke the path there because of the chair. So if I move the chair back out of the way. So in that case, yeah, so you have to, if you have objects in the way, like if you had a kitchen table here that's blocking a path, you might need to place a couple more paths just to get around it. That's kind of what I did here by putting them around the corners of the geometry. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure there's a good flow. This looks like a good flow here. Any other questions, anyone? All right. So what we're gonna do, I guess we'll say about a month. Give you guys like a month just to mess around in the editor, work on any projects you want to work on. If you have any map ideas, start working on it. And then when you run into issues, or you're just struggling a little bit, just do what you can, and then we can do another group session where we're going over stuff together. That way, anything that I missed can be brought up, and it'll be gone over for everyone else. Does that sound good, guys? All right. All right, we ended pretty early tonight. That went a lot faster. I just want to make sure. I didn't go over like importing stuff. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. There's one more thing I can go over with you. So you can create, if you want to add music to your map. Where the hell is it? There it is. You go to actor classes, triggers, music trigger, KF music trigger. And then when you go into that, you can put your songs in here. Music needs to be in OGG format. Sure. What the fuck? What? Okay, that was weird. Yeah, so basically you would just, whatever the file name is, so like if you wanted dirge disunion, dirge disunion 1, like that. And that's pretty much it. Combat song is during the wave, comm is during the trader. And then you just add for each wave. I forget if wave 0 is the that initial trader round before, or not initial trader round, but those 10 seconds before the first wave. I forget if 0 is that. Hang on. I can tell you. Yeah, so this is boardwalk pathing right now. It's not terrible, but it's a bit. Oh, so I can show you how the merciless spawn system works. So, no, these are the 4 zombie spawn volumes. And it's a very, yeah, it's just 4 spawn volumes. And basically you'll see each, they're teleporters. Each of these leads to a specific part on the map. And there's only like one, like for the convention center, there's only one convention center teleporter in each, or maybe 2 at most, in each of these spawn volumes here. And then if you go over, you see where they lead. So they teleport to the roof here, right there. There's a teleporter here, so they'll spawn outside the door, quote unquote spawn. Teleporter there, etc., etc. That's Merciless's fancy spawn system. Anyways, what was I going over? There it is. Okay, no, yeah, wave 0 is wave 1. That's all. So here's all 10 waves right here. And that's it. You don't have to put .ogg at the end of it or anything. It's just put in the file name and you're good to go. All right. I think we're all set. If you guys run into anything major, let me know. Any major issues that cannot wait. And then we'll go over it later. Alright. I guess I will see you guys on the server. Alright. Give me a couple minutes and then I'll be on.